2b, here you're going to need to find your zeros. So once again, you set your numerator equals 0. So we're going to say x squared minus 2x plus 1. That's equal to 0. So you have x minus 1 times x minus 1 equals 0. And you're going to notice you have 2x minus 1. So if we get a 0 at x equals a 1, you may notice something a little crazy about that here in a little bit. We'll see. Next, you need to find your vertical asymptote. So it looks like we're going to have two vertical asymptotes here again because we have an x squared. Or will we? So if you factor this, you get x plus 1 times x plus 1 equals 0. And you're going to say, oh, hey, I have 2x plus 1. So if I set x plus 1 equals 0, x equals 1. So next we need to find your horizontal asymptote. And remember that is found by looking at your degree of your numerator and comparing it with your degree of your denominator. So notice they are both the same. So in order to figure out what your horizontal asymptote is, you're going to say y is equal to, you take the coefficients that are in front. So we have a 1 here, we have a 1 here. We're going to end up taking a 1 divided by a 1. Let's throw that in a calculator. 1 divided by 1 is 1. So that means you're going to have a horizontal asymptote at 1. So we should graph this. Probably should have graphed my original vertical asymptote also. So we're going to put this back here at negative 1. So there are your asymptotes. Now your 0 is at x equals 1. So that means we're going to go over here to 1, put a 0 right here. That actually also gives us a point because it's a 0 because that's at x equals 1 on your x-axis. So now we need to make a table of values. And we should put in the middle, we should put your undefined value, which would be your vertical asymptote. So we're going to put a negative 1 in the middle. And we need to surround that with other values. So we're going to go negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, 0, 1, and 2. So let's go ahead and simplify what is f of negative 4. So we're going to say negative 4 squared minus 2. Whoa, what is that stuff? Minus 2 times negative 4 plus 1 all over negative 4 squared plus 2 times the negative 4 plus 1. And when you evaluate that, you end up getting a pretty ugly number. Ends up being like a 25 over 9, which if you turn that into a decimal, ends up giving you a 2.8. So if we plug the rest of these values in, plug a negative 3, a negative 2, 0 is nice because that means these terms just cancel out. You get a 1 over 1, which is just a 1. But if you plug the rest of these in, you can do it by calculator, however you want. Then the rest of your numbers, if you have a negative 3, that means you're going to have a 4. If you plug in a negative 2, you're going to have a 9. If you plug in a 1, you're going to have a 0. And if you plug in a 2, you're going to get a 0.11 or 0.1. So let's go ahead and plot these points. Notice we have up 0, we have a 1. Well, we can't quite have a point on your vertical asymptote, can we? That's kind of weird. You go over 1 up 0. You go over 2 up a 0.11 right here. Then we put a 0, 1. Now this is a weird graph. You're really not going to run into too many of these, but if you have 0, 1, that means you're going to have this point up here. Okay, so this is the 99.8% of the time you don't have a number that does land on one of your asymptotes. This is the 0.2% that it actually does. So notice this point, if you were to go down here, you're going to go down here, and then it's going to go back up and touch this orange. Well, this is going to actually get closer and closer to your asymptote from the bottom. And then as you go up, it's going to get closer and closer to your asymptote, the blue asymptote, as you're going up, like so. If you plot your points on the left, let's go back 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up 2.8. 1, 2. Up here. And then if you go back 3, up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you go back 2, up 9, that's going to be way up here. So this graph is actually kind of going like this, and then you extend it to the left like so. This is probably one of the uglier graphs that you're not going to run into. So I guess the main part that I want you to make sure you understand is everything here on the left on how to find your zeros, your vertical asymptotes, and your horizontal asymptote. I highly doubt you're going to have a graph like this, so I'm glad that I just took all this time